Breaking news, guys, this is pretty insane. The US government has ordered the Swedish city of Stockholm to end its DEI programs within 10 days. But guess what? The city authorities say the demand is bizarre and they will not be complying. So the Stockholm City Planning Office received a letter from the US Embassy explaining that every organization doing business with the US must sign a contract within a few days and agree to end their DEI programs. Believe it or not, US embassies around the world have been making these anti-DEI demands toward local contractors, but this is the first time the US government has made these demands toward another government. In this case, the Swedish government. Jan Veleskog, Stockholm's vice mayor for city planning and sports, calls the letter completely bizarre. And he said, quote, "We absolutely do not intend to do that. It is the opposite of everything we stand for. They should withdraw these strange things." And this is awesome. The vice mayor points out that it is in fact the US Embassy in Stockholm that needs the city planning office, not the other way around. If the US terminates its relationship with the city planning office, it's the US Embassy that'll have difficulty obtaining a building permit if they want to rebuild, for example. And that's the US's problem, not Sweden's. So it's like, what is the US thinking in this circumstance? We don't hold any of the cards. We're not in a position to demand anything from them. Besides, the Swedish government says it would violate Swedish law to comply with such a demand. The Minister for Gender Equality and Working Life, Nina Larsson, had this to say about the matter. According to the Discrimination Act, Swedish companies are obliged to work preventatively and actively to counteract discrimination and promote equal rights. Otherwise, there may be penalties. Companies should feel secure in the fact that Swedish law is firm. It is also important that we, both politically and from the industries, are clear about this towards foreign clients. It only makes sense that businesses in Sweden follow Swedish law. It seems a little overreaching for the US government to impose its laws on Swedish businesses in Sweden. It just really shows how entitled and careless the Trump administration is. For our entire world's sake, let's hope that foreign governments dig their heels in and resist the Trump regime at all costs. Because after all, what can the regime do if the foreign government doesn't comply? Nothing. So don't you worry, y'all. Not all is lost. Thank you, Sweden, for upholding the values of freedom and equality.